Hi, welcome back to the Spirit of Watercolor, and we've been doing lots of demonstrations. I realize I have probably 50 out there now, and tips and tricks and some inspirational videos. And I do like to take a break from the demos and do some of these inspirational ones where we find a good book or some other way. In nature was one of our recent explorations of how to fill our creative well. And I was outside in my little garden. Now I want to go inside, okay, and we're going to go into my studio, and I'm going to kind of take you through it. It's going to be a short video, but we're just going to look around and see what I can do to improve, clean, organize my studio so it's much better equipped to enhance creativity, okay? And this I think will help you as well if you feel that way too. I've heard people say, oh my gosh, my art studio is just a mess, you know, and I mean, it gets there because creativity gets messy, right? But I'm thinking of ways, and you'll see in the video how I make decisions to move things and make them more organized and at my fingertips, and other things I discover on my journey to getting it all put together and functional. And so this is about our creative space. And so I hope you'll discover, like I said, some wonderful ideas to just, you know, and they're simple, not necessarily expensive, you know, just changing and moving and putting things in organized fashion in boxes or bins. And so come join me and let's see where this leads. Okay, thanks. See you in there? Probably. Okay, so you can see my little studio here. I'm just gonna move my camera for a minute. You've seen, I've sometimes put a photograph of this when it's clean behind me on the green screen because it's not always clean. And right now it's quite crazy in here. This is where, you know, I paint over here, as you've seen. And, you know, I want to show you a couple things here that I do like, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to have to change, okay? All right, so here, and I'm sorry again about the laundry, but I have to get my clothes clean for work tomorrow and the rest of the week. So I bought these organizer bins at Target, maybe a year or two ago, and I've got a small one here, and I can put small supplies and things in here, okay? And I also use it as a stand for a light, okay, at the table. But I have these larger ones, which I really love. So what I have here is at the top drawer, I've got in my larger sketching or painting pads, okay? And of course I have a tablet here, which I intend to keep in here also, if I want to put up a photograph and look at it on the tablet, okay? So I want to keep that there. I'm still pending on if I'm going to put family photos down here. I like having, you know, my parents passed, and I like their picture of my dog. So I'm trying to figure out where to put things, and still feel organized and, you know, feel the love around me of people in my family. That's also a wonderful thing to have a part of my space, okay? I wonder if you can see me where I was standing. Okay, so now the table is going to need a new tablecloth because I'm wearing this one out, but I will get that. And I like to have one of those vinyl ones I can wash and wipe, okay? And then I have paintings here I was looking at from when I painted last week, and I'll clean that up and I'll get my table cleared off and nice. But the main problem I'm having is, since I've been doing these videos with you about, you know, books that inspire me and going and doing an exercise from some of these, I don't have a place to put them, and I've realized that I have this little bookshelf over here. Let's see if you can see my bookshelf over there. Yeah, I think it's in the video. And the bigger one is, of course, reference books, like I said, I keep of how to paint, about artists that are inspiring to me and so forth. And then I also have, you know, sketches and drawings and ideas down there. I have my Birds and Blooms magazine, which is, you know, about nature and birds, because, you know, I love those subjects. And then also I have many old and new watercolor artist magazine. It used to be called Watercolor Magic, I've told you, and I keep some of those down there. I go through those from time to time because it gets to be piled up over years. But and I have my little inspirational things. I keep my diploma there that helps me validate my education in the paints because in art. I don't know. I think artists always need validation that they're worthy of, of what they're doing. I think we're very sensitive people. So, and then of course I have a picture from an artist statement from when I did a show up there, and then I decorate parts of the bookshelf to be attractive because that also makes me want to be in my studio. Okay, that to me is pretty important. I have a few little vases and things there. Now this is what I want to move, I think, and I'm going to try it because, again, this is always changing. So I'm going to take this bookshelf and I'm going to put it over next to me here where I can stick those books in that I'm using, and I think that'll work, just right here next to me in this little space. Okay. I also wanted to mention something I just saw here. What was it? I don't know, but my paints are getting kind of far away from me, so maybe moving that shelf will actually help me here too, because I'd get a little more light too. Lighting is the other thing we talked about. I've got these little lights from Michael's craft store that appear like daylight, so they help. And then there's one light up there with that cone, that metal cone that kind of makes the and that kind of goes out and it makes good light for my green screen, which is on the other side of the room, as you know, where I do the videos just to talk and the intros and the endings of my videos. So that's kind of it. Also I wanted to say there's boxes under here, some plastic bins under the table, plus some of my supplies. I have mats down there of various sizes and the backings to mats in one box. I have, artist supplies that I may still use but don't use as much. I have things like old brushes that I may pull out from time to time. I also have things when I go to hang my work into an exhibit somewhere that are down there in a supply bin. And then just extra things, that may come in handy. And if they don't, it's probably good to go through that from time to time and see if I actually am using things down there, because the more you can get rid of things you don't use, the more space you're going to have, right? So that's my tips on this working on our studio. Okay, I'm going to clean it up and come back to you, and I'll let you know how it feels, and we'll start a new demonstration painting with one of our books that we just talked about. You can let me know which things you'd like to hear. So as you can see, I'm making some progress here. I'm going to move my camera for a moment. I moved that shelf over there, and here, move this out of the way for a minute. And I'm going to have a little more area there. I might be able to actually put some of my paintings there. The big deal here is that I'm going to have more place right at my fingertips. Okay. Is this bookshelf, and I put the books that we've been talking about down there, and some that I want to talk about and that we want to look at and find helpful, inspirational, or demonstrations, to paint at our table. Okay, and then I've moved my here, let's do this. Okay, so my art bin full of most of my paints is over there now by the light, so I can actually see. And then I'm just moving around some of the other things and thinking how it's been a little awkward when I'm trying to do a demonstration for you all. And then here, I might have a little more space and I won't keep hopefully bumping. I might be able to put my palettes over here where there used to be other things. Now it's empty and I could put my palettes there and I won't maybe keep bumping those. That would be wonderful, wouldn't it? I have my little God box there, which I have to work on. That's another story. Someday we'll talk about. And yeah, it's coming along. So I'm going to finish cleaning up and then we'll look at the total room. I just don't think, though, I mentioned one more thing I wanted to mention. I'm not sure if I did, but here where I said I have some supplies up here in this organizer. Yeah. So I have down here, and I'm going to label these with, I keep meaning to do that. So I could say these are just some of my supplies and maybe name a few of those miscellaneous things. And then here is paintings that I have done that I feel are finished and or are going to be matted and or framed. Okay. And I need to organize this, and now I'll be able to a little better. And then down here, I did have demonstration, or yeah, when I did demonstrations and or unfinished work, and also, who knows, maybe I need another bin. I mean, that's a thought. I might have room now too, because I could push this over, put another one of these over here, and continue to organize. Okay. Now, one of the final things, well, we'll talk about that in a moment. Let's finish this up. I'll get back and we'll talk about where I'm putting my finished framed pieces. Okay? Okay, so already it's a lot cleaner and I have a lot more space. How about that? Look at that. Let me try and pan here. I'm not a good panner with this tripod in my hand. Yeah, here we go. And you can see I've got my little bookshelf down there, and I'm going to sit down and show you how that looks and feels. Again, I still need to work on it more, but I'm also going through while I'm doing this, and we're trying to decide, or I'm trying to decide what I actually need or don't need. Make sure I don't have my head chopped off here. Let's see. And yeah, so here I can sit down in my chair, and I've got my space heater by my feet, which I need when I get cold in the winters here. And I've got my bookshelf over here, so I can just reach for those books and put them back. And I know where they are because they've been all over, and it's been really those little things that distract you, like not knowing where your paint is on your palette, like we've talked about. And when you have things organized to some degree, where they generally, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Perfectionism we do not want in creativity, right? Well, that's another topic, but so, you know, here I've got my art bin there where the light is so I can see my art supplies. I've got some more paints over here that I keep moving around also and trying to figure out where they go. It's some extra paints that I do use from time to time, but not as often as my main palette. Okay, my palette of paints. And the bin I use. And then I have, I may label this. This is my Liz Claiborne shoebox. And I have in here right now my Sennelier paints, my Primatech paints we just did a video on. And then in here some of the most favorite quinacridone paints that I love. I had Winsor Newton paints here, I have a small handful of those wonderful paints. And I ended up putting those in one of these bins right here. So, and I could get more colors, I realized. Although I don't need more colors right now. I have way too many colors. But organizing what you have can make all the difference. And those I'm not sure where they're going to go yet. I don't have to know everything today, right? But what do you think? Whew, finally have that all finished and organized. I'm so happy with the new arrangement in my studio downstairs. I hope that this was helpful to you. I really do. I hope that it gave you ideas and motivates you if you need to get more organized and get your creative space, your studio area, to be a place you want to be, so you want to keep creating and you have more inspirations. Okay. Also, I wanted to say that since I finished this, I went ahead and I got on Amazon and I ordered a lamp. It's a torch light. Points up at the ceiling, and the light should disperse across the ceiling and more overall lighting here. And I'll show you that when it gets here, okay, if you'd like to see it. And also I ordered a new tablecloth because this one with the flowers is kind of distracting. It's not terrible, but you know, it's a little distracting having a print all around when I'm painting. So I got a neutral gray, just middle of the road gray tablecloth, and it's vinyl washable so I can still wipe it off. And it didn't cost me much, $32 for the light and maybe $15 or $16 for the tablecloth, I think. So, but you know, we're worth it. We want to make our space, I want to say, a very special place, and we deserve to do this. So let's make sure we do what we need to do to keep that creativity flowing and make it a happy place to be. And so I hope you'll watch me real soon, as we're going to now be really ready, and I'm really excited to get some new artwork going with you. Okay, some new beautiful watercolors flowing, sometimes wet on wet, and we're going to approach those details a little bit more. Like I always say, you want to have your weaker areas, you want to focus and work on them, but also use your gifts in the ways that you're, like if you're a detail person, go ahead and use those if you want. If you're more loose, you know, like myself, do that, but also learn the other techniques, because you will want to be able to create, you know, anything you want, right? So this way we'll have those abilities. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, you know what to do. And we will meet back here very, very soon and get into our book about details. So stay tuned and let's go. And it's going to be fun. It's not going to be like, you know, really tight. We're going to use some really fun watercolor techniques to get those details. Stay tuned. I'll see you soon. Bye. Thanks for watching.